you're listening to Julie Taylor, and this is Julie and Company.
Today our guest is Shelley Judge. Shelley is working at the municipality and she is the councillor for West Brome Iron Hill. Hi, Shelley.
Good afternoon, Julie. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
So happy to see you, Shelley. We haven't seen in, I'd like to say, 23 odd years.
Correct.
Last time we saw each other, you were working at the daycare as an educator and you were running the petting zoo on weekends, and we actually took 2 small chickens from your zoo and we kept them for so long and they were so playful, and then they got a little big and a little aggressive, so they ended up in a real farm. Anyway, Shelley, welcome to the show. What have you been up to?
Well, lots of things. As you said, yes, I am the councillor of Iron Hill, West Brome, and have been now we're coming on to the 4 years. I have left daycare. I had been there for 20 years, and now I work at Knowlton Academy. Started off as the K4 educator, and now I am working as a teacher's helper. They've renamed all of our jobs, and that's what I'm doing now.
You started your own daycare. Then they opened up Passerelle des Mousses, and that's where we met. It was such a wonderful space, and I see it growing. Can you tell me about it? Is it expanding?
Yes, I'm still in contact with some of the educators that are working there. They were hoping to open in September.
It closed at the end of April, May?
It never closed. No, they've been functional ever since. Yes,
Wow.
They're just expanding. I'm sure those poor girls are waiting for it to be done. As you can imagine, being under construction that long with that many children can't be fun, but I'm sure they've done their best at making it the best for everyone.
I know they have. I was smitten with my experience there as a mother, and the children came out okay. No regrets. Shelley, you come from the region?
I do. I grew up in Waterloo, and I married my husband Ross in 96, and I opened my home daycare here in Knowlton in 93. So I've been a full-time resident of Knowlton, Lac Brome since 93.
And do you still live in the area?
We live in Iron Hill now, yes.
Do you run a farm there? It's such a lovely area. I'm just guessing.
As you had said, so we started the petting zoo together. We ran that for about 25 years. And unfortunately, the pandemic forced us to sell or close down that. We weren't sure coming out of that what was going to happen. We hung on to the animals as long as possible. Not knowing the outcome, we slowly started selling things. So now on the farm, you can still find about 45 sheep. And we will be at Brome Fair.
Wow.
So please stop by and see us at Brome Fair. And we have a few goats and our first dog of our own ever.
Why were you babysitting everybody else's dog, or did they all migrate to your house?
No, we were just never home long enough to keep a dog back then when we were always so busy.
You were
busy. So we have our
were
first now.
Busy.
Busy is for sure.
Absolutely. Imagine being with children all the time, children at home, the pets, and being out on the road and doing the zoo. You're a social being.
You know, Julie, I don't think I would have changed any of it.
Aw. And did you always know that you were going to be a busy mommy to all these children? Was it always there, or how did it all come together?
Yeah, I think it really was. I can remember back in elementary school when a lot of the friends were out playing or whatever, I was always like in the kindergarten room, what can I do? How can I help? And or down in the cafeteria saying, I'll help, what do you need? And I think it was just always me. And I had 3 older brothers, and my mom worked all the time, and as my dad was a truck driver, wasn't home much. And I just took over taking care of them, and then my parents always had open door policy, and so there was always often a lot of others at the house, and so they were out doing their thing, playing hockey or ball or whatever, and I was just always taking care, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
And I look at you and you still have those sparkling blue eyes, and they're sparkling more and more as you're talking about this journey you've been with children and so forth. I was wondering, today and now, you said 4 years as a councillor for the municipality. How did it all come about?
I did a lot of volunteering and have for the amount of years probably that I've been here. And I could see that there was a decline in some of the volunteerism or the way the soccer program being run or Canada Day or things that I had been involved in. And I thought to make them better, the only way to do that was to get involved. And so by being councillor, I felt that I was able to give back and also give my view on things.
So how does that work?
That's a good question, because when I was elected, the dossier that was given to me was Public Works. I had a lot of learning to do, a lot of reading, a lot of researching to understand these terminologies.
You hadn't been on any particular committee. You'd done your volunteering, and now you thought, let me get more involved in the mechanics of the municipality. Once you were elected, you were given a portfolio.
Correct.
What's the role exactly?
I work very closely with the engineer and the public works director. Citizens contact me directly if it has anything to do with the roads.
Public works, right. Road, water,
sewage.
That is huge.
I believe it's the biggest portfolio, actually. At our council level, obviously projects come through and there's budgets that go with these. And so I like to oversee to make sure that any project that our engineers feel is the next project that needs to be done, that I can push it through with the council, or at least present it to council properly, and so that we can ask the proper questions or go down the proper route.
So let me understand this. You're working with employees at the town that have specific jobs relating to the public works, like water, sewage, and
roads.
And when there is an issue or something's coming up or something needs to be addressed, they come to you to make sure that they're well represented at the council?
No. So basically at council level, it is that we sit together, our 6 councillors,
okay,
with the mayor and the DG. But before that, when I sit with the public works director and we usually November or just shortly before November, when we sit to do the budgets, is when we have our projects for the year. And then that's where I'm able to understand the projects or ask questions then. So when it comes to the table of the 6 or 7 of us, then we can decide which projects need to go through. Often we wait for grants to know which projects are able to go through.
You need to know the dossiers really well to make sure that you can answer what needs to be addressed, rally the troops, and make sure that everything gets put through.
I try to know the most that I can, yes, and if I don't, I go find the answers, and I think that's the trick. I'm not pretending to know more than I know. It's a huge dossier. I'm not an engineer, but when I don't know, I go and find out, and then I'm able to answer. So that's important to me.
I love hearing that, because the smart people have to know what they don't know, and then they have to go and get more information. And what do you think is the most challenging part of sitting as a leader in this particular chair of Public Works? Or how has it made you a better person or a bigger person for it?
It's made me more knowledge, for sure. We always just think, the back roads, they're not graded properly, or it's dusty. It's way more than just dust on the road. We're restricted in what we're allowed to put on the road. We're restricted of how we grade the roads. Winter is the same thing. We have to put on specific abrasives, and sometimes people are misled by all of those things. We do contract out some of our winter roads, specifically to have them properly done. We have new contracts out, mostly in Iron Hill area. It's challenging to keep the employees and the contractors in line or just on task.
And what would be a complaint that you hear occasionally coming from the citizens?
It's not occasionally, it's often.
And what would that be?
The conditions of the roads.
Conditions meaning?
It depends on the weather, right? These winter roads were actually not bad, but citizens now, the back roads are dusty. They're asking for them to have more calcium put down, which is coming. And those are the complaints. The people living out of town, that's all they have are the roads.
That's what connects them to us.
Exactly. And I respect that and I understand that. So we do try to maintain the roads as best we can. And I feel we do a very good job.
And if there was, let's say, an impediment to getting the job done, or some people are dissatisfied, is it a question of resources like money or labor? Like, what is the element that is slowing down the progress to everybody being happy, quote unquote?
I think it's time. I just think it's there, it's in the schedules, it's just the time to get everything done. And it's been a really dry summer, so specifically this summer, normally we try to just wait for that second application of calcium a little longer, but it's been super dry, so it's timing. It's timing of everything.
So if I'm a citizen, I'm really tired of being the last one, it would seem, on the list to getting my road done. How can I bring it to the attention of the city in a suitable manner? Is there a process?
For sure. The first call should always be to Public Works, to the garage, directly to the secretary there. She will take your information. And often they're able to answer you right there. If they can, they do. If they don't, and you haven't heard back, which is something that I would really like to change, often then the citizen will call their direct leader, which roads is me. So then they would call me directly.
Do people call you?
Yes, for sure.
Till what, 10 p.m.? No weekends, nothing after 3:15.
No,
please.
I'm always available. And if I'm not, then, they leave a message and I always get back to the citizen. I feel they deserve to be answered.
Yes. And emails, I'm sure.
Yes,
possible
it is
to the
for
city?
sure. Yep. We all have our email addresses. A lot of people like to talk, though. They like to speak to you specifically.
Vent.
venting or just saying who they are and that they've been here for 50 years and this is how it was always done and what can I do to support them. And I listen to them and they deserve to be listened to.
I agree. And has there been an influx of citizens, in your opinion? We're talking a bit about changes when it came to the pandemic. And have you noticed since then an increase in population? And has that put a bit of pressure on servicing all the citizens of Brome Lake?
For sure, it's increased the amount of people in town. I think if we're talking roads again, because obviously that is a big one, they're coming from roads that are paved to roads that are not and expecting the same quality.
I see.
And so I'm trying to educate them that way.
And I think there's nothing more charming than a home on a dirt road. I think it's closer to nature, it's closer to the cycles. And this morning there was a horse on my road. You don't get that on pavement. I mean, what charm, what an old way of living in an infrastructure where 10 minutes away you can get anything you want.
So that's really funny. When we owned the petting zoo, we actually had a camel. I don't know if you knew that. And we would walk our camel on the road. So you saw horses, some people see camels.
Yes. All right. Now you're going down the path of running for mayor.
Correct.
Do you want to tell us how you're ready for the job?
When I was elected 4 years ago, as I said, I thought I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to change the things that I felt could be better. And my term is coming due, and I feel that I haven't done everything I need to do yet. So I guess my next step is running for mayor.
And this is not something you anticipated from a long time ago. This is an opportunity and
Correct.
A bit of soul searching.
Correct. Family decision.
Yeah. And the children are big enough now.
Yes.
In your opinion, what's a really good quality a mayor should have? Or many qualities? Which are the strengths that you'll bring out in yourself to fill
leadership?
mayor?
I think I'm a really good leader. I think I've proven that many times along the way, and even in school or in my workplace.
I am interrupting you because I want to attest. What that means to me is somebody who's extremely enthusiastic about what they're doing. They're hands-on, they're smiling, they're sparkling, and they'll get behind what needs to get done.
Get the work done. Yeah, I agree. That's it. For me, that's the key. And I really think, the other thing is communication and transparency. We need to address that. And I really think I'm the person that is able to bring that to the table.
In your role as mayor, given the opportunity, what would be your style? You need to be harmonious. You need to hear everyone else out. Do you think sometimes you need to be a peacemaker? Do you think sometimes you need to be a bit pushy? I guess every situation would call on a particular aspect to shine. But what have you seen, and how do you think you'll be challenged in this role?
Well, first of all, you keep saying I, and it's not I. I'll be with a team, and I really want to work with that team. The decisions that are made for the citizens of the Town of Brome Lake actually come from that team, should come from that team. I will work with each individual and bring out the best in each of them to make the decisions.
Who are the team members in question? If we don't have names, who are the other chairs on the
Well, I
team?
believe all the chairs are going to be up for
The
election.
councillors.
Yes, all 6 seats will be up for election.
So-
So I don't know who the team will be.
Okay.
I will know November 2nd, just like everyone else, who my team will be.
That's big news, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody's vacating,
I'm not sure if some of them are.
just running again, but everything's up for election.
Everything's up. Yes,
November
I believe
2nd.
So we will know more as time approaches, but November 2nd is voting day, and by the evening of November 2nd, we will know our new team.
Okay, so all citizens of Brome Lake can vote. Can you tell me what chairs we're looking at now filling on that date?
So West Brome Iron Hill, Bonville, Foster, East Hill, Knowlton, and Knowlton has 2 seats. There's
Right.
an East and a West.
Yeah,
or-
that's right.
yeah.
So all the people that want to be councillors will be running for this election. And what about sitting on the committees, say Public Works, because there's many other committees? Is there a process there as well?
When I arrived, there were 2 portfolios available, and the mayor gave me public work. And I was happy to work with all of those people over at the town garage.
So we don't know now which, okay.
No, we won't.
So we're going to sidetrack for a second. I heard, everybody knows, Hydro is looking at upgrading, and they're aiming at developing an area near Sutton, from what I understand.
Correct.
And you're well versed in that file?
Well, there's a group of citizens formés from Sutton, Knowlton, West Brome, and a few retired hydro employees, I believe, in this committee.
So if we talk about the issues briefly. So Hydro wants to build a new infrastructure for the region.
Correct.
And some citizens have gotten together to argue and articulate that it is possible that we could supply our needs through a different solution.
Yeah, so they got together saying the first words that came out of their...
They got together when?
I'm going to say the beginning of the summer, maybe May. I think sometime in May, and we met at the Auberge West Brome. They had a nice get-together that I attended. It was very well presented by the citizens. And right away they said, we're not at all saying we don't need this service, but can we do something that's not so
invasive
to our region? Exactly, that's what I was going to use. So from that evening, it was just making us informed of what was happening. I learned a lot. It was very well done. And then from there, we met at council as well. The mayor had attended a few times meetings with Hydro.
Okay, I wanted to backtrack. You say the meeting. Was it the citizens that put on the meeting, or was it Hydro that put on the meeting?
It was the citizens that put on the meeting. Great. And Hydro was there, though. There was a representative that afternoon from Hydro. When we left there, like I said, and the mayors of the touching regions that were involved in this Hydro had met a few times. And then our mayor, Mr. Burkham, would come back and he would give us a compte rendu of where we were at. Yeah. Recently, there was a proposal made from the citizens, that citizens group. Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm going to say maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, it was refused. So they were looking at that alternative that you were speaking about, and Hydro has refused it. But we really need to keep a close eye on this, which I have, following the new
developments
and proposals that people are making, and just really keeping a close eye on where they want it to go.
Yeah, Shelley, sometimes people get shut down the first time. Do you think there's hope that we just need to regroup and try again? What would the channels be, and where could people join the movement if there's more signature or more popular weight needed behind this? I'm just asking because we'd like to know more. I'd like to know more, frankly.
Yeah, that's a really good question. You can contact me directly. Actually, I do have the emails of the gentleman that had contacted me that started this group.
Yes.
Definitely, I'm assuming we could contact the town hall as well. They may have some information on where to direct your questions.
Yeah, that would be good.
But definitely, Julie, Hydro is Hydro, but we need to keep an eye on our region and our beauty of our region, and get the services we need, but let's make the less impact on our environment as possible.
I'm right there with you. I believe that we owe it to our forefathers and foremothers who have developed this region and kept it so beautiful, and how quickly it can go down the toilet. We know that, we've seen it on the commercial street. You blink and all of a sudden things are made that cannot be unmade. Thank you for caring. And do you think you're a little bit of are you a toughie?
I can be,
said she with a sparkle in her eyes. Oh, great. You're not afraid of offending a few people?
I think it's going to go along with the job. Yeah. I work in it every day. Like with the children too, it's not just the children we work with, it's their parents. They're not always happy in the decisions that we make. I have to think of the student. In this case, it'll be the citizens. And yeah, you're not going to please everyone, but I always try to do my best to make the best decisions for my clients at school, or in this case, it'll be for the citizens of the Town of Brome Lake.
Hi, would you like to be on the show? Do you have any questions or ideas you'd like to share? Go to julietaylor.ca and leave me a message.
How's the waterworks? Are there any infrastructures that need to be addressed there?
Yes, we're always putting money from the budget to improve the roads and also the water and sewage. We have projects in the work. If you follow town municipality issues, we are looking at changing the water and sewage infrastructure on Knowlton Road. And so that will be a huge project coming forward.
I personally affection the waterworks because my house was right off the waterworks, the very first place where they go and check the water every day. It's a double whammy. My roads were always cleared first so the truck could go check the water. What about the quality? I'm just curious. We've been here almost 30 years. Is the quality of the water
still good? Are there issues?
The quality of the water is checked daily every few days.
Yeah, I think it's morning and night, but...
So that's la ministère that we have to follow. And so we're always looking for water sources as well. Recently, we've looked at on Mill Road that we're looking for a new water source.
Because we're running out?
We are not running out. Our water supply is fantastic right now. It's just there's always hope to find other water sources. And actually, we're very close at doing so.
Okay. We would have a backup plan.
Correct.
And now it's coming down from, I think, Spring Hill area?
Correct.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at this new one on Mill Road near our town garage. So
And
that would be fantastic.
Is this what you were about to go into before I interrupted you, that you were saying that there are always projects in the works and infrastructure is going to get addressed? And would this be one of the projects that would be developed?
It's a long project. It may not be done in my 4-year mandate, but it's definitely things we always need to improve the infrastructure of any town, and ours is not omitted from that. So it's definitely monies that when you sit down and do these budgets, it's a lot of money, and it's important that we support these infrastructures.
No one person has that much clout that they sway the decision. It's really a team and group decision.
Correct.
Okay.
And I'll make sure that it stays that way.
And how do you see you leaving a positive imprint on Knowlton were you to win the mayorship?
Well, I speak a lot about leadership. I think I'm a fantastic leader. I think I can lead our employees to get the best from them, and also our new council. And if I can say, women build communities and men build businesses, and I feel that our citizens need a community.
Lovely. Shelley, thanks